Okay. Hello, Brandon. It's Will here, and you recognize that young fella right there?
Exactly, exactly.
It's a close personal relative.
That's right.
We are going to...
Your long-lost cousin.
That's your younger brother.
That's right.
We're going to test us some carburetors, and first thing we're going to do is make sure we've got fuel up to the carburetors with our priming lever, and I believe we have fuel, but so we've done that. I can tell by the lack of pressure on the lever that we've achieved fuel. Excuse the poor camera. Oh, that's right. I'm really being a bad cameraman, and he's a film star.
Okay.
He won't recognize quality, will he?
Well, you know what? After seeing him when he took them off compared to looking at them now, it's like night and day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're all right then.
So you're in good shape.
Okay. Now we're going to give you a couple handy hints on mounting the carburetors. Always, whether you do it or anybody else, the chokes go to the center, so that you don't want to mount them backwards, which I've known people do. And before the carburetors get tightened up, you put them on there loosely. You then come in with your air log. Get your air log in place, and then do your final tightening on all your hardware, all your mounting hardware. Then that way you'll know that the air log will fit when you come to tighten it up, when you come to install it later on. Because if you tighten these things up without putting the air log on, then you're in a world of hurt. Because these things move like about a quarter inch up and down. Always use 2 wrenches here when installing the fuel line onto the fuel fitting. You need 1 wrench to stabilize this fitting in the top of the carburetor, and then this one to do the screwing. Otherwise you take the chance of ripping the threads out, and we don't want that to happen. I'll give you complete instructions on mounting the carburetors with the proper use of the sleeves and wave washers. Always use new rubber gaskets, new factory gaskets. All the machine work that's been done, we've got all new throttle shafts, butterflies, even this idle mixture screw hole has been drilled out, plugged and drilled. Because even in the factory did these, like if you put a probe down there, the probe could be like off 30, 40 degrees. I mean, these things were just, the machine work back then was miserable. So now we've got this hole plumb with the rest of the carburetor. All factory gaskets, which you can tell because they're red. The factory gaskets are red, the aftermarkets are not. I'm trying to think what else we've got. I think, let's see, then in terms of the mounting, fuel. Fuel filtration is very important on these cars. I suggest putting an extra fuel filter in line, one that would be right after the fuel pump, before the fuel pump and after the factory fuel filter, because if you get any kind of little bitty grit in here, I'll give you a demonstration. For instance, this is your idle jet right here, and you may not even be able to see it on camera. See how teeny that hole is?
Oh yeah,
I mean, it doesn't take just
smaller than a pin.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and so just a little bit of grit will clog up that idle jet, and you will lose your idle. And it's really easy to fix. Just unscrew it like I did right there. Let's see if this is on camera. So we just unscrew the idle jet like I did and blow it out. And if you don't have any way to blow it out, you can take this idle jet and swap it for this one, because they're both the same. It only idles on the first barrel, and so this is a dummy, and this is never used. So it's there to swap over if you have trouble on the road, for instance. And you'll notice this when you come off the highway, it's running fine, and then when you come to a stop sign or something, the car will die. And that's when you've sucked up some dirt, and it's just that little teeny pinhole is what makes the car idle or not idle.
I'll be darned.
So I've got all that covered. I'm going to adjust the carburetors. Oh, this idle mixture screw right here is a dummy. We've had these holes machined and plugged. You don't need the idle mixture screw on the second barrel. So these do not need to be touched. They're just there to fill a hole and look pretty. This is where the adjustment is made for idle mixture, and we'll have that adjusted. But I'll show you how to adjust it so you guys can do it if you so choose or need to, if you need to. I think, let's see, let's check our choke operation. This actually is the hardest part of these carburetors, is to get the chokes to work properly. They've got to be smooth and go up like that. And when you operate the choke, you are actually, in addition to choking and making it run rich, you're physically moving the throttle linkage, and that's what increases your idle. And so that's all you're doing, is physically just, you know, like it's like you're putting your foot on the gas pedal. Let's see. I think we got fuel. Okay, I give it a couple of gooses there. We choke it. Switch on. Let's see what we got. And in normal driving, you would have the choke out until as you drive along for a minute, 2, 3 minutes, whatever it takes, and then you can very slowly let the choke out until it idle. We'll get this thing adjusted in a little bit. It's not bad now. Let's see, I lost my train of thought. Oh well, not important.
Did these get screwed all the way in?
Did I forget to do that? I forgot to do that. Well, I'm telling you what. Sailors, I knew there's a reason for you to be here. I need you to check up on me. Can you imagine? Can you believe that? Yeah, this thing was out of it. I had to adjust it, and I didn't. Well, let's see if there's anything else I forgot to screw in all the way.
I don't think so.
That's funny.
Those are the only ones that I saw.
Well, I'm glad you're to keep me honest.
Wow, sounds great.
Good for a start. Now we have to get it warmed up. The only time you can adjust these things is when they're warmed up. So, you want to grab that right there and bring up the idle a little bit. And we're going to watch the temperature gauge till we get some heat on this thing. Because you actually have hot water going through here and heating up the air going into the engine, and so you've got to have everything temperature stabilized before you can adjust the carburetors, so to where you know what you're doing.
Wow, that's amazing. That's smooth.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Smooth.
Good for a start. We'll get everything simonized here in a minute. We're also checking to make sure we don't have any drips in the bores right here from the accelerator discharge nozzles.